Center in Carson, California. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Chargers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Hey, boys, we got 4. 4 down. Over. That's number 86.
Out of the gun.
Check.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
Check safety.
Give the tackle there to Keon Crossan.
Hatch it.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback.
Get there.
And no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now back to throw. Going for his running back, and he's got him complete.
We got 3.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Detroit! Wise motion.
They'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 38.
Great. Show it, Check 50. Hey. Mike is 50. Hey. Mike to 59.
Now following the interception, here's Newton.
Hey, watch it.
Looking left side, and it's complete.
Motion.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, a 22. First carry of the game for the Panthers. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
He's checking. Crash. Fofo's and Mike. Mike's Fofo. Blue down.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He needed 3, he got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
44's Mike. Check. Gun. Watch the run.
Set.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
You got nothing today.
4th down, and here's Graham Gano now in the field goal unit for the Panthers. This will be kicked from the 40, so it's a 52-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kicking. Trace their history. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a first and 10.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Check three.
Flush to his right.
Gotta be ready. Don't be scared.
He goes full extension, and he's got it. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar.
Over!
That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Double tight.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. He's going to let one go deep for punt. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Wiggles free. Parker unable to get that one.
Going the other way.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, in first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. 4 down. 4 down.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats, but really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
Shift.
Great.
After the run, didn't get a throw. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. It's fielded at the 45. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. The Chargers getting set to go, and it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done.
All right, here we go.
The game in jeopardy.
319! 319!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat. Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Looking to throw. Toward the sideline, he will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the
Watch
holding
it now,
penalty.
Barney! Barney!
3rd and long.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
He'll look to throw. And it's complete. Henry. And he's taken down inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. And that's this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his football.
Back to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hey, watch the delay. 59's Mike, 59's Mike. Check.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Caught left side, Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. 1st and 10 at the 19. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. In for the score. And the Chargers have taken a first quarter lead. Had the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple of first downs.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Space to maneuver at the 40.
No.
The 40.
Me.
He's at the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that.
They've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Gano out to kick this one away. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
Watch it now, Barney! That drive went, no adjustments. And
not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The tackle made by Derek Rivers.
They tried a quick hit inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're holding, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. And they've got it here with a first down.
I got two.
Guests are urged to enter the facility carrying the fewest items possible.
Tight end left. We got three down.
Detroit!
Set up the throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
All right, now, look at 56.
What's the throw here on first down?
Crash.
Got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Okay,
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
4 down. Let's go. Watch left.
Gonna look to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And he took the ball off course.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
A scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 23 yards on the play. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. He's able to do exactly what he said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Come on. Yeah, buddy. That's how you hit. That's right.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Tight end right. Tight end right. 4 down. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
Up the middle. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Watch the twist. You go tight.
Watch you now, Barney. Barney.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Extra point forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And up past the 35. A very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work. So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice, and that often runs you into a penalty.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get The timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts and still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Mike's 5'9", Mike's 5'9".
McCaffrey following the play. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Break! He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. 57's Mike. Mike 57.
Great.
Nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
Hey.
Kill.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Woo! Yeah, baby.
Here we go, fellas.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down.
Check forward.
Great.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taken in at the 11. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. So out come the Chargers. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down in those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roll through or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
5 yards on the catch there brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop it before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Safe.
Leopard.
Mike, check. 59.
Fullback trying to push the pile. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Run.
On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. Two minutes to go here in the first half. So here's the punter, Ryan Allen, to kick this one away. Back to return Christian McCaffrey. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Carolina getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Watch 24. Hey, switch gears.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey.
Run!
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes you'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Check 59. 59.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Now they can't bring it
You ain't doing
down.
nothing today.
That one good for 33 and a first.
Go, go, go,
That
run,
outside
run,
handoff to
run.
the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, it created a big
run.
run. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Greg, Greg. Double tight. Gun. Hey. We got 4. 20. We got 4.
And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Here we go. Express. Tight right. Greg.
He'll put it in the air now with Newton.
4 down.
And he fends him off.
He's crashing.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Here we go.
The Panthers on third
Greg.
down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16.
Hey. 57. White 33.
From the gun, here's Newton. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Corey Legion able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 39 yards away. And Gano's kick is right through. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Half field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better. Probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up. I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up.
And that's caught inside the 30. And the ball is knocked out and picked up by the Chargers. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Hey! We got 4. Watch tight end. 3 down, 3 down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And right side, Henry's got it. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always say about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Gun! Watch left!
I got him.
Leopard!
Check 13. Check 13.
They'll run now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Larry. Let's heat it up. All right, here we go. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And his pass incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
4 down.
Throw here. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense, usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42.
Hey, 4 down. Hey, get right there.
Check 9.
Drive begins with a run by the Panther. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Again, they run and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Here we go. Watch 88. Great. Check, bunch set. Hey. Watch the whip.
And he finds his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory.
Great.
A big third down play there for the Panthers. 41 yards.
50.
From the red zone now, Newton. Now he'll escape to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Here we go.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Gun.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
The throw on second down is Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, and it's third down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on third down.
Hey.
4 down. Check.
Throwing on third down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers.
Baby.
DJ Moore, his 9th touchdown of the season.
Come on now.
His guys are able to strike for 6.
Let's go, defense.
That's why
Hey,
you've got
man
your
up,
star
D.
out there.
Man
Throw
up,
the ball
D.
to him. They did.
That's so what coverage you put on there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Gano out to kick this one
I know
away.
You felt that one. I know you felt that one.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer
get
this
a little
time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails,
Over!
less of a field goal attempt for him.
Right. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Hey. 4 down. Mike's 5'9",
Flushed out
Watch
right.
that creep.
Now
Watch
he's
that
going to throw
creeping.
deep right. It's
Safety's
caught
creeping.
inside the 25. A big play there for L.A. 48 yards.
All right, partner, that's it. That's a video game highlight catch right there. Acrobatic, one hand, come down with the football. Look, if you
No.
right now, I'm throwing down my control. I'm done. That's it. I can't do this anymore. Yet, we see it happen just about every week. All these guys need is a chance, and they're making those types of plays, even if we don't believe what we just saw.
Run! Okay, baby, I see you.
Set up to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion.
4 down.
They've been very cohesive.
All right,
Knowing
now,
each
look at
other's
56.
moves all game long. They've been on the spot just about every time.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside
Mike,
and give
check,
himself
check,
space
59,
to
59.
fade away from him and catch the football. And that's exactly what happened.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for two too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point.
A hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. You got to get it back. Newton.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll dump this up to running back McCaffrey. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Your trip ends here, baby. Your trip ends here. Check 88. Check 88. Single receiver. Single receiver.
Out of the gun, Newton. He gets it to Brown, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Here we go.
And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. This is McCaffrey. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Oh, yeah!
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Bunch set, eyes up, bunch set.
Newton. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he's got his man. It's Samuel. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year.
Here we go.
His guys are able to strike for 6.
Shift.
They'll try and run for it. Option left. And he is not going to make it to the goal line. So the defense holds, and this remains a 5-point game. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun!
Mike, 59 Mike.
Gun!
Throwing here on 1st down.
Hot.
Eluding the pressure right. And that would not
hot.
to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Tight left.
Detroit!
On the ground, the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It was Eric Reed in on the stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off the big one, and maybe he can just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And a throw right sideline is complete.
3 down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Gun!
Here we go.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
4 down, 4 down.
They'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Gun! All right, here we go. 3-19!
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Strong right.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Hey, I need one over here.
And the blitz does come. Flushed out right. That stays up. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to enforce the release, and they enforce the incomplete pass.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Carolina getting set to take the field. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Kill. Turn up.
Hey!
Kill, turn up.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Tight on the left. Move.
Set!
We got 4.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. They stay on the ground. Again. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
3 down.
Hey!
57's the mic.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And that one results in 35 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Hey!
Now a toss is McCaffrey. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59.
Carry now for Alex Collins. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there. Sometimes it's hard to find.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
Yeah,
Well,
baby.
partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover.
Watch tight end. Watch tight
Detroit! Detroit! Leopard! Leopard!
And they'll try to win the game here with the running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Get him, boys! Get him, boys! Tight end left, tight end left!
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mike's 5'9", Mike's 5'9".
Gun, gun!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Got him.
All right, now,
It's a
lucky
big
56.
play for
Lucky
both
56.
sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
4 down.
He'll drop the ball. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
But this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
He's stopped right there, stop right there. Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line.
He wasn't
A
ready.
solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead.
No doubt about it. Staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Let's rock now.
We got double up, double up.
Express!
After the run, Newton going to throw. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
Detroit!
Not totally
Detroit!
home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Check, check, check. Back, back, back.
Here's a 1st down for Collins. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming.
4 down.
Newton's going to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end, he went, yeah, not really.
It's his running back, Melvin Gordon. Breaks through the contact. Oh, and now some space to operate. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish it.
Puts it in front here late, but that you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've done these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They may want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
20. The first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
What do you...
He's back to throw. Dancing to his left. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Done by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy. When you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Quad. Check three. You don't want none of that. Give me it. Pick up the ball.
Looks like his throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Detroit!
Watch two.
Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Williams.
Crash down.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley.